Hello students, welcome you all on behalf of Resonance. Today August 26 जेई मेंस मॉर्निंग सेशन का पेपर देखते हैं मेमोरी बेस्ड वाले क्वेश्चंस कौन सा क्वेश्चंस आया है आज. चलो विदाउट डिले चालू करें. लेट अस सी टुडेस first question in the morning session given what is the water molecule ratio in potash alum and more salt is given. Very simple question. Potash alum and more salt formula FeSO4 NH4 twice SO4 6H2O and potash alum formula K2SO4 Al2SO4 thrice 24H2O. इसमें वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स की रेशो पूछा है तो वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स की रेशो देख लो 24/6 that will give you 4. So, the answer is 4 for this question. Next, second question, interhalogen compound AB3 has T-shaped structure. How many lone pairs are present on A? This is also very simple question based on VSCPR theory, and here if you take interhalogen compound AB3, in this the halogen atom A is the halogen. So, it contains 7 electrons. Now, based on VSCPR theory, it has T shape already given in the question. So, it will have 2 lone pairs on it, right. Next, so the answer can be 2 for this question. Next, third question, let us see here. Identify the correct formula of fluorapatite among the following. Here in the 15th group direct question, in the 15th group NCERT based question, and here fluorapatite formula, here you can know NaNO3 sodium nitrate, Na3AlF6 cryolite, CaF2 and Ca9 PO4 6 CaF2. Here the fluorapatite formula is this one Ca9 PO4 6 times CaF2. Okay. So, this is the phosphorus rocks component, main component. So, fluorapatite formula is this one. So, the answer is 1 for this. Next, fourth question, let us see, when a gas adsorb on solid surface at a given temperature, then identify the correct option for this. You see, when a gas adsorbs, this is the exothermic process. So, when the gas molecules adsorbed on this surface of solid, it is exothermic process, that means heat energy is released. So, delta H can be less than 0, and since entropy of these gas molecules is decreasing, delta S can be less than 0. So, the answer can be 1. So, this is the answer. Adsorption of gas on solid surface is exothermic process and entropy is also decreasing. So, it is delta H less than 0 and delta S less than 0. This is also a easy question. Now, इसमें ये पूछा है आइडेंटिफाई द बेस्ट मेथड टू प्रिपेयर डीआयोनाइज्ड वाटर. डीआयोनाइज्ड वाटर मतलब इसमें सारे आयन्स को निकालना है. सो सारे आयन्स को निकालने के लिए इसमें द बेस्ट मेथड कैन बी द सिंथेटिक रेजिन मेथड. इसमें कैटायन एक्सचेंज रेजिन और एनायन एक्सचेंज रेजिन होता है. सो व्हेन हार्ड वाटर इज पास्ड थ्रू कैटायन एक्सचेंज रेजिन, cations of the hard water, that is calcium magnesium ions, can be removed, and when it is passed through anion exchange resin, the anions like chloride, sulphate ions can also be removed, and so we will get deionized water after passing through this cation and anion exchange resins. So, the best method for this to prepare deionized water is synthetic resin method. So, this is the answer. Next, which of the following compounds dissolve in water and give colored solution? It is also a beautiful question. If it has unpaired electrons, then it shows color, unpaired electrons. In Cu2Cl2, Cu plus it is D10 configuration, and in Cu2 plus it has a D9 configuration, Ag plus has D10 configuration, and Zn plus 2 has D10 configuration. To show the color, the d orbital electrons should undergo dd transition. So, for dd transition, to show this dd transition, if d orbitals are completely filled, then it is not possible for the excitation of electrons from lower energy d orbitals to higher energy d orbitals. That means, dd transition is not possible. That is why, if there is D10 configuration, these are colorless and only this CuCl2 can show the color. Next, which of the following is purple colored complex? Here Na4FeCN5NOS, this is the purple color complex. When sulphide ion combines with this sodium nitroprusside, we will get this purple colored complex. And here this potassium ferrocyanide, it is light yellow colored complex, it is the light yellow colored complex, and this is the formula for brown ring. So, it is giving brown ring, and this is blood red coloration, it will give blood red color. Ferric thiocyanate is giving blood red color. So, the purple color is for only the first complex. Now, 8 number question, this is the statement wise. Methyl orange is suitable indicator for titration of strong acid and weak base, and phenolphthalein is not suitable indicator for titration of acetic acid and sodium hydroxide. In this, the first statement is correct and second statement is incorrect, because it is suitable for the weak acid and strong base, and as well as strong acid and strong base also. So, the second statement is incorrect and only the first statement is correct. Next, because methyl orange pH range is 3.1 to 4.4 and phenolphthalein pH range is 8.2 to 10.3. So, that is why here methyl orange is suitable for indicator for titration of strong acid and weak base, and phenolphthalein is also suitable indicator for titration of weak acid and strong base. Next, this question belongs to Ellingham diagram, and this is also a beautiful question. Ellingham diagram is used to check which metal oxide to be reduced by which substance. Yes, this is the main concept why we study about the Ellingham diagram. So, this is the correct statement. Next, in Ellingham diagram, as we move from left to right, delta S increases. This is not always correct for all this. If you see 2 CO plus O2 is giving 2 CO2, for this the delta S will be negative, delta S is negative, that means the line is observed like this. So, this second statement is incorrect, only the first statement is correct. Next, which of the following is incorrect? Fluorine is better oxidizing agent than chlorine. Yes, it is the fact, fluorine is the stronger oxidizing agent than chlorine, and fluorine is more reactive than CLF, and this is the wrong, because here in the XX dash bond, that means here X dash is the smaller halogen and X is the larger halogen, and in the interhalogen compounds these X dash are more reactive than this chlorine, that means halogens when compared with halogens. Exception is fluorine. So, fluorine is more reactive than CLF. and if these undergo hydrolysis, what happens? Here CLF when undergoes hydrolysis, you will get HF and HOCl. So, here in the statements it is given which fluorine is better oxidizing agent than chlorine. Yes, it is correct. And chlorine is more reactive than CLF. No, it is less reactive because CLF bond is weaker than this Cl2. So, it is more reactive. Next, fluorine is more reactive than CLF. Yes, it is correct. And on hydrolysis CLF gives HOCl and HF. Yes, it is also correct. So, the incorrect statement can be second one. The reason here we are giving the reason because when compared with the X dash bond, that means interhalogen compounds bond with the halogens, here the interhalogen compounds, the XX dash bond is weaker when compared with the halogen. That is why chlorine is less reactive than CLF. Next, Frenkel defect provides color in solids, and Frenkel defects is an interstitial defect. Here both statements are incorrect. The reason for this is Frenkel defect is the dislocation defect. That means, in the solids the atoms or smaller ions like cations when dislocate from their lattice site and occupies the interstitial site. Interstitial site means the gap present between these lattice sites. So, this is said to be the interstitial site. When the ions leave from their lattice site and occupies this position, that means interstitial site, then the defect arised is said to be the Frenkel defect. Okay. And this is also called as dislocation defect. And interstitial defect is not correct word here, because interstitial defect is observed in the non-stoichiometric compounds and Frenkel defect is observed in stoichiometric compounds mainly. And for the color formation, this is not the reason. For the color formation of solids, the main reason is F centers. That means, when the electrons are trapped into the interstitial sites, then the F centers are formed, and that F centers are the main reason for this color in the solids. Next question, when excess of carbon dioxide is passed through lime water, then what will be the sequence of the products? It is also a very easy question. Here lime water, when passed through this lime water, when carbon dioxide is passed, then calcium carbonate is obtained. Lime water is nothing but calcium hydroxide, and when CO2 is passed, it will give you the calcium carbonate, and on prolonged passage of carbon dioxide, you will get calcium bicarbonate. So, the sequence of the products is calcium carbonate and calcium bicarbonate are the products that is obtained when carbon dioxide is passed through the lime water. First it turns milky due to the formation of calcium carbonate, and it then on prolonged passage of carbon dioxide, it becomes colorless because of the formation of calcium bicarbonate. Next one, calculate the molarity of 3.3 molal solution of KCl whose density is 1.8 gram per milliliter. So, density is given, molality is given, and asking about the molarity. Okay. So, molality can be calculated by using this formula, that is, here capital M represents the molarity, D density, and this is the molar mass of solute. So, on substituting the values and on calculation, you will get 3.4 molar. This is the molarity of the solution for the given one. Okay. So, what is the molarity now? 3.4 molar. ठीक है बच्चों. Next one, correct sequence of RMS speeds of oxygen, carbon dioxide and nitrogen at constant temperature will be. इसमें RMS speed का formula root over 3 RT by m, and you can observe this RMS speed is inversely proportional to root over m. Now, the RMS speed depends on molar mass. So, for nitrogen, oxygen and carbon dioxide, the RMS speed depends on mass of the molar mass of the gas given. So, lighter gas will have more RMS speed. So, this is the order now. Next, let us come to this one. In Bohr's model, velocity of electron increases with the decrease in positive charge of nucleus as electrons are not held tightly. Here, you know, velocity is related with z and n as like this. Here, as the positive charge is increasing, it is given that as positive charge with a decrease in positive charge. Decrease in positive charge means he is talking about the z value. So, here you can observe V is directly proportional to z. So, it is given V is increasing, velocity is increasing with a decrease in positive charge of the nucleus. So, it is incorrect statement. And statement 2, velocity decreases with increase in principal quantum number. Yes, it is correct because it is inversely proportional to n. So, as the n value increases, principal quantum number increases means orbit number increases, then velocity of the electron decreases. So, this is the relation between this velocity and z value and n value. This is also a direct question. If you know the formula, you can easily answer this question. Next, how many of the following properties on which reduction potential depends? So, here if you see from solid to gas conversion, the energy required is said to be the enthalpy of sublimation, and this m is converting into ion. This is the enthalpy of ionization, and Mn plus is converting into aqueous ion. This is said to be the enthalpy of hydration. So, here the SRP value depends on these three, that is sublimation, ionization and hydration. So, which on which it is does not depend, that is electron gain enthalpy. So, on these three properties it depends. So, answer can be 3. Next one, in GD2 plus number of electrons are, this is the configuration for GD, that is xenon 54 and 4f7 5d1 6s2, and in GD2 plus what happens here, after removing these two electrons, the 4f and 5d orbitals energy gap will decrease. Now, the electron from 5d will jump into the 4f, that is why the number of electrons in GD2 plus can be observed as 4f8 instead of 4f7, you will get 4f8. क्यों? यहाँ ये एनर्जी गैप कम होने की वजह से, ये ऑर्बिटल्स कॉन्ट्रैक्शन की वजह से इसमें 5d इलेक्ट्रॉन 4f में आ जाएगा, तो इसकी वजह से इसमें GD2 प्लस में कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आएगा बच्चों? ये 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आएगा. ओके, सो दिस इज द नंबर ऑफ f electrons in GD2 plus. Next, the last question of this session, that is number of compounds which have freezing point greater than freezing point of 0.1 molal ethanol. Here the compounds are given, that is the solutions 0.1 molal sodium sulphate, 0.1 molar barium phosphate, 0.1 molal HCl and 0.1 molal urea. So, in this question you can observe the freezing point, depression in freezing point depends on I value and m value. Here m is given same, all are having same molality. So, Now, the delta TF value depends on which? It depends on I value, that is Van 't Hoff's factor. If you see the Van 't Hoff's factor for this ethyl alcohol is having Van 't Hoff's factor 1 and sodium sulphate Van 't Hoff's factor is 3, barium phosphate it is 5, HCl 2, urea 1. Now, you can observe as the Van 't Hoff's factor is more, then freezing point will be less. So, no solution is having greater freezing point than ethanol, all will have same or below that freezing point of ethanol. That is why here the freezing point of these solutions will be no one is given. So, answer can be 0. Okay. Okay, students, that is it for this morning session paper, and we can meet you in the next session, I mean evening session paper. Thank you all.